Our next witness, Michelle Moore, is Senior Vice President of Policy and Market Development of the U.S. Green Building Council. This council develops the LEED standard, one of the most popular green building certification programs in the country. We welcome you, Ms. Moore. Whenever you're ready, please begin.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much not only for giving us the opportunity to address you here today with so many colleagues and leaders from around the country on this topic, but also for your explicitly stated intent to raise the level of awareness of green buildings as a source of solutions for climate change, for energy, and a myriad other energy issues. As Americans, we spend 90% of our time indoors. Our buildings have an extraordinary, if little understood, impact on our health and well-being, and there are so many issues that they're able to help us address. So to begin with, just a little bit about the U.S. Green Building Council. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We've been in existence for about 15 years. And USGBC's mission is the market transformation of the built environment to sustainability. And that concept of market transformation is extraordinarily important in understanding the intent and really the uses of the LEED Green Building rating system, which many of the other speakers here today have referenced. Our membership is composed of, to date, about 16,000 organizational members. So those are companies, educational institutions, and governmental agencies who are a part not only of USGBC as an organization, but who also participate in the consensus process that develops and advances the LEED rating system. Our vision in creating LEED and our intent in its use is that it would set a high bar, challenge the leaders and innovators in the marketplace to achieve it, and in doing so, gradually raise the floor of the industry. Now, in the climate in which we currently exist, obviously the U.S. Green Building Council feels a tremendous sense of urgency associated with energy and climate, again, like so many of the colleagues on the panel here today. And that sense of urgency is expressed in our work. And if you had an opportunity to read the written testimony that I shared, there's been extraordinary growth in the green building marketplace, certainly over the course of the past 8 years since the introduction of the LEED Green Building rating system. USGBC's growth is a reasonable proxy for understanding how the market has been pacing forward by every measure, by registered and certified buildings, membership in USGBC, or LEED accredited professionals in the community. So these are professionals from the engineering community, from the architectural community who've committed themselves to greener buildings. It's been doubling at the rate of about every 2 years, doubling every 2 years, growing at a rate of 50% per year, which is good, but it's not enough in terms of what we need to achieve in a very short period of time. Other statistics in terms of market growth I think that are important to understand is that McGraw-Hill projects that by the year 2010 there'll be about a $60 billion marketplace for green building products and services. So all of the projections that we've heard about the potential for a green job creation, for driving tremendous innovation and entrepreneurialism in our economy around the building sector, which is 14.7% of U.S. GDP, and generates 9 million American jobs, are coming true today. But the single greatest obstacle to that is the perception that to do something good, to do something better, to do something that's going to be better for the environment, it's going to cost you a pound of flesh. And if you look at some of the research that's come out even over the course of the past year about perceptions of green building, well, there's an increasing understanding that indeed it does save money. And if there is a first cost premium associated with building green, and the research out there right now says that that first cost premium typically stands at about 1.5% of total costs, it's paid back within the first year just based on utility savings. But the challenge is that the vast majority of the population, even in the professional community, overestimates that first cost premium by more than 300%. So it's a mindset that needs to be transformed through demonstration, through research, through case histories that could make a tremendous impact in accelerating change. Most of what we've talked about here today so far have been new buildings. You know, how to really change the impact that new structures that are being built today in America, homes, schools, commercial buildings, governmental buildings can make. We would put forth that the single greatest opportunity that we have is with our existing building stock. It's 90% of the opportunity, quite literally. And a recent McKinsey study that was published put forth that it was a negative cost, which I guess means a profitable opportunity for CO2 emissions reductions, negative cost, kind of a funny way to say that. We can actually make money and generate jobs and generate economic opportunity by investing in the buildings that we already have. That's true in the commercial space, and that's true in the residential space as well. It's not as sexy as solar panels, and it takes a lot of additional training, people whose skills we don't have today, but it's an enormous opportunity. We've done some initial calculations, and it suggests that 1.2 million jobs could be generated by a complete commitment. I'd like to close just by offering one additional important focus, and it's a focus that Congresswoman Solis brought up early on, and that's our schools. In the commercial marketplace, our schools are the single largest market sector. It's a $37 billion marketplace this year alone, and 20% of America goes to school every day. Congress has taken a leadership position on this with the Green Schools Caucus, which many members of this committee have joined as well. But it's an extraordinary opportunity not only to dramatically reduce CO2 emissions, dramatically reduce energy consumption, but to Edward Norton's point, demonstrate in very concrete terms to the next generation that we have a real commitment to a more sustainable future.
Thank you, Ms. Moore.